leadership is something which is a big responsibility. First of all, that is the most important thing what you need to understand. It's like a crown, which is a very painful crown when it comes to the leadership. काम में बेसुरापन आ गया ना तो सब कुछ बेसुरा हो जाता है.
What are the aspects that you remember when you are designing a tall building? Like, say, for example, I'm an architect. I'm I'm working with a construction company, and they've advised me, and I'm the consultant.
Every project is very special. It's like you are asking mother which baby you like the most.
Yeah.
After passing the exam, I still have that excitement of school times and college times that Pappu pass ho gaya types.
She is packed with positivity and has a beautiful aura around herself. She is architect Anuja Sawant. She is the principal of SSA Architects. Also, she is the director of Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat India. So, if you're into high rise and commercial and residential buildings, you have to watch this video. You need to check her video out today to know her. She is the woman in design who has made her mark for herself. We welcome her today on our podcast to share her insights on women in design. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe this video and never miss another update from us. Also, look forward to our other interesting podcasts as well. Anuja Sawant, ma'am, we are honored to have you on our podcast today. You are a principal architect at SSA Architects, and you're also on the director for Council for Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat India. So, just a minor question: what does a typical day in your life be like?
Okay, my day starts very early. I'm a very early rising person. So it always starts with the exercises, and that's something which I'm doing for past several years. So after that, coming back from the walk and yoga and things like that, then it's like I have my riyaz every day, music. After that, whatever little bit of housework, and I head to my office. And I do like to reach before my staff comes. Most of them are traveling from away, and I really feel that's a nice time for me to spend and prepare myself for the day. So by the time they all come, I am prepared to delegate certain things or discuss certain things or plan out my day. And then once the whole staff is around, it's a different level of energy. And I just have a lot of discussions, design, detailing, and proper good lunch hour if it is possible, if I'm not traveling. Um, and then meetings, and by 7:38 I wrap up, come back home, and end my day with some little bit of sometimes the work of City BH. I do it at night, and I do most of the thing on my own. Like for City BH, I do all the software work or whatever write-ups or graphic work. I just do it myself because uh, once you start reaching to certain level in your profession, what happens is typically you lose contact with the basic things, and that's what I love to do it in the late time and little bit here and there on some movies or here and there, and I close my day quite early. So very exciting, full of excitement day for
And
me.
balanced at the same time. I think that is commendable. Like, because we come across people on Instagram or people on social media nowadays, constantly hustling. Like, you have to work, and now when you're saying that you do yoga also, and you riyaz, and then you go to office before your staff comes in. So I think that's very balanced, I would say. So I think that also brings out a lot of creativity and inspiration as well. Also, talking of creativity, inspiration, what is your inspiration? Like, do you have some role model?
Really, if you ask me, I mean, I have not framed anyone, but anything could be inspiring. Even your nature is more inspiring to me. I
Correct.
mean, I always find very earthy thing inspiring, and rather than liking somebody a straightforward, but I always like certain things from certain people.
Hmm.
And that's how I try to I mean, that gives me a lot more inspiration to evolve myself. So
Hmm.
it's like somebody will ask me, whom do you like in Bollywood? I mean, I would say that I like no one, but
Hmm.
it's a peculiar movie in which I have liked some actor, or
Correct.
uh, very fond of music. So if you'll ask me, I can talk volumes on the music
Hmm.
directors and the
Hmm.
kind of a music. But nothing as such idealism
Correct.
in one personality.
But there are several things done by several people. So you pick up whichever you want at
Yeah,
that particular time in
yes,
that mood.
yes,
Works. Also, you just mentioned that you are into earthy things
yeah,
and sustainability.
yeah.
At the same time, you're the on the council for high-rise buildings, tall buildings, and urban habitat. How do you involve sustainability into high-rise buildings? Like, I think it's a contradiction. So how do you work with that?
Okay, wonderfully. I next week I have to go on one panel,
Yeah.
and in that panel I am a moderator, and the
Okay.
subject is net zero high rises.
Correct.
And today I started talking to all the panelists, and I started getting wonderful contradictory discussions.
Yeah.
And exactly, I'm thinking like tomorrow I have to prepare myself
Yeah.
so that I can be a good moderator and evolve out of it. You're very correct. Right now, there is a lot more work which needs to be done.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, High rises and sustainability, and high rise and net zero.
Yeah.
Sustainability is there. But at the same time, at the city level and at the developing countries, we have to find the means and ways by which we can go close to that.
Hmm.
And day by day, as we start evolving and working towards it, I think it will happen. It's a
Hmm.
slow process, and we have to believe in the process and move in that direction.
Hmm.
I mean, if I'll keep saying that it is not possible, that's not the way I should look at it. Even if I can go one step ahead,
Hmm.
I think high rises need to go in that direction.
Correct.
So, as a designer, as an architect, I have to think on those aspects that how I can make it possible.
Hmm. You just mentioned net zero. Can you tell our viewers more about what exactly that is?
Oh, net zero will talk about there is under net zero there is net zero energy, net
Hmm.
zero water,
Hmm.
net zero carbon.
Hmm.
Now all these are three important elements, and like net zero water is that you are not dependent upon the outside source for the water,
Okay.
and the water positive is you are generating your own water. Similar weights for the energy, and
Okay.
the sources could be your own resources, could be rainwater, or
Hmm.
for energy it could be solar panels. And
Hmm.
zero carbon is something where you have scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. So
Hmm.
from where you are getting your material, how you are constructing your building, and the process in which the whole building material has come, your labor has come, your vehicles have come, they are all generating the carbon.
Hmm.
And how you can go towards that and make it self sufficient. So it's like becoming a self sufficient. So,
Correct.
how we used to be in the old village time, we used to grow our own grains, our own
Hmm.
vegetables. In the similar way, you're becoming a self sufficient,
Atmanirbhar.
Atmanirbhar
Too
kind of a
big.
thing.
Yeah.
And there are several aspects to it. I mean, it's a subject by itself, and
Hmm.
that is something everyone is a topic of interest or topic of research, and lot more to do for the younger generation, and a
Hmm.
lot more things are happening, a lot more competitions are happening, research papers are made across the globe, and that is the next thing for the real estate industry.
Correct. Also, you mentioned carbon footprint. So you yourself are a carbon footprint analyst. Uh, how do you get some this kind of an accreditation? Like if someone wants to study this further.
Oh, through CII, there are several courses
Hmm.
which are available. I think for young generations, I would say, and even for my age people, I really feel that there is a lot more knowledge which is available,
Hmm.
and how you want to make yourself accessible. Uh, so right now, the social media, or you have so many avenues
Hmm.
through which there is so much of opportunity. It was a very little small course. I keep doing that in between because that's something which again gets you on the ground.
Hmm.
You study because professionally at certain point you become confident about certain things. You know,
Hmm.
it's like uh, I would say you're framed or you try to think in certain way and it becomes a peculiarity. I mean, if I have to give an example to you, if you look at music directors like A.R.
Hmm.
Rahman, you can find out that the song is by A.R.
B.R.
Rahman.
Rahman.
Why this happens? Because it comes to a saturation. Now,
Hmm.
if you want to move yourself in certain way, you have to challenge yourself.
Hmm.
And study is the best tool where you evolve through it. You come up
Correct.
with the different ideas and you try to break the rules what you have
Hmm.
made. So try to look for such short courses. It was just a 10-15 days course.
Hmm.
And I could learn more thing. There was small short exam was there. Studying that, giving that exam, doing those small mathematical problems and understanding somebody else is teaching you.
Hmm.
You know, it's very important to learn from someone. I mean,
Correct.
today the word unlearn is very, very, I would say, has become very popular.
Popular. Yeah.
So unlearn is something where you just shrug off what you have earned up till now and
Hmm.
just come back to
The
where you were,
basics. Yeah.
basics. And that is what is the beauty of living with excitement, I would say.
Correct.
That gives another level of excitement to do something more,
Hmm.
evolve yourself in new way and give some fresh ideas.
Correct. But ma'am, you at that level, you're like the principal architect and you have like so many, layers of hierarchies below you. And if you are talking of, learning something new every day, learning something from everybody else or doing such courses, so I wonder how your team also must be so motivated. I mean, I'm sure your team must be quite motivated just looking at you as a role model. So I think that's very important that even the young architects who are opening, their own offices, they also have this, included in their standard practices, or they could add it into their office, their firm. That something like this, maybe unlearned days, or doing a course, skill development. So I think that also has to be added into a structure. Like, do you have like in your office something like this?
See, I believe in another thing that you don't have a formula. I
Hmm.
mean, you should look at yourself that what you could do best.
Hmm.
Not necessarily what I have done is the ideal thing.
Correct.
Probably for you it could be totally different.
Hmm.
So realizing what is your strong point, what is your weak point, what you like the best,
Correct.
once you evolve your own journey,
Hmm.
and it's very important to understand yourself
Hmm.
and work around us. So when you do that, you will be always at your best
Correct.
because you understand and you grow in the wisdom in a different direction.
Hmm.
But you should allow yourself to evolve in that particular fashion.
Yeah.
So, when all these young architects are with me, I try to understand them. I try to
Hmm.
work around with them. And you may find that out of, say, 20 or 30, 10 people are good at this.
Hmm.
5 people are bad at that, but they're
Hmm.
good at something else.
Correct.
Now, once they come together, they form a team and they start supporting themselves in that particular fashion, you will see there is a different level of a beauty and synergy into what you are designing or what is the
Hmm.
outcome.
Hmm.
Eventually, that's your journey.
Correct.
Your work is something which needs to shine.
Hmm.
But then if I can do everything, but not necessary that person can do everything.
Hmm.
He might say, I get exhausted what you're doing. That's madness. But what I do gives me another level of energy.
Hmm.
But for someone just observing someone or just doing some write up or doing some graphics, he could give me what I want.
Correct.
So that's how, if you look at things, you will find amazing facts and
Hmm.
work moves in a very different direction.
Correct. Also, team building. I mean, because you have such a. How many people are working under you, ma'am?
For me, around 30, 40 people are working. It's
Wow.
a big office.
Yeah.
So,
30,
and we have
40 people.
supporting teams of engineers and a graphic designer. So,
Hmm.
so all these teams are there.
So 30, 40 people, and they have like teams within themselves.
Yeah.
There are team leaders. How do you manage all these things? I mean, sometimes just managing 4 people also is like a task. So, any advice that you'd like to give people at leadership roles?
Uh, Leadership is something which is a big responsibility. First of
Mm.
all, that is the most important thing what you need to understand. It's like a crown, which is a very painful crown when it
Mm.
comes to the leadership. So when it comes to the leadership, first of all, you own everything. The ownership is the most important part of the leadership.
Mm.
So the team understands that you have a owner,
Mm.
and there's no baggage,
Mm.
you're not just blaming. When that happens, you will find they will be in the same rhythm.
Mm.
Even work is like a music,
Correct.
it has a rhythm. And I mean, you relate so many creative things to your work because
Yeah.
it's in the rhythm. Once you catch the rhythm,
Yeah.
you will not go off bit.
Mm.
In the same way, I mean, I always believe कि काम में बेसुरापन आ गया ना तो सब कुछ बेसुरा हो जाता है. So you make it into that lyrical, that rhythmic way.
Mm.
You enjoy the journey. Once you
Mm.
know that you are enjoying, your subordinates will always have a challenges with smile.
Correct.
Once you start frowning and once you start throwing tantrum, that doesn't work.
Mm.
Accept whatever it is with the smile, and
Mm.
then you will see that how the most challenging work will evolve in a wonderful way.
Correct.
And I've always seen that the most challenging task, when it comes, it evolves beautifully
Mm. Correct.
because you give a different level of energy to that work
Mm.
and
Mm.
that focus. That is very important.
Mm. Well said, ma'am. Ma'am, getting back to like, because I'm really keen on understanding what are the aspects that you remember when you are designing a tall building? Like, say, for example, I'm an architect, I'm into, I'm working with a construction company, and they've advised me, and I'm the consultant. What are the aspects I have to keep in mind when I'm designing a tall building?
Okay, again, the tall building is subject by itself,
Mm.
and tall buildings are engineering driven.
Mm.
So, first of all, whoever wants to get into the tall building, let's understand the technology first.
Mm.
Technology is well good studies of bylaws because that is another thing.
Mm.
Good reading is very important,
Mm.
and good understanding of all technologies is a blend.
Mm.
And once you start understanding the technology, then it is more evolving, you're designing through that.
Mm.
Understanding the MEP very well, understanding the structure very well,
Mm.
understanding the elevator analysis very well, how your core should be placed, how structurally well you can evolve your design, how efficiently you can design, because that is another aspect where the FSI consumption is very important.
Mm.
Your area, your built up area to core ratios are very important because that's where your revenue generation for the developer is happening. And at the same time, the life cycle of the high rises is very important. The
Mm.
people who are living, the kind of a people you are living, for whom you are designing.
Mm.
So I always give presentation to colleges for tall building, and I always tell them that it's a blend of climatic analysis, site analysis, structure, MEP, fire, dysregulation,
Anything that you're
landscape.
studying, everything goes into this,
Everything goes
or in
into
a
it
high rise.
because if you don't evolve your design, then the sustainability is difficult.
Mm.
Even people have to maintain that in the future. Please understand, you're not constructing today, but if
Mm.
they have to maintain, the longevity is very important. What components you have is very important.
Mm.
Life cycle, lifestyle is very important because you're living at those heights.
Mm.
Your emotions also changes. Living below tree and living on 40th floor is a different ball game. So you have to
Mm.
understand that psychology.
Yeah.
You have to understand the trend, the market trend, because
Mm.
you're not only an architect, but you are representing your developer.
Mm.
You're part of his marketing team.
Yeah.
You're playing. You have several hats on your head when you're architect,
Mm.
and in tall building, you are associated with several other components of it. because it's a big responsibility. It has a long time span to construct,
Hmm.
though you are going with the faster technologies.
Correct.
So this is what the tall building is all about, and it's a huge teamwork of
Hmm.
15 to 20 consultants together,
Correct.
uh, who are part of you. And it's again what you do it at office level, you are doing at the various consultant levels also.
Yeah.
And again, I say that how you have a good team, again you evolve, and you will see that the masterpieces of such exclusive project, you will
Correct.
see that it's a teamwork,
Hmm.
and that is what we need to recognize.
Correct. Also, ma'am, you are very passionate about sustainability, green architecture. So, any other project that you have inculcated high rise along with the green architecture?
Uh, Several projects. I mean, right now when you ask me, I've just started thinking about it,
Filtering projects in
filtering
your head.
projects in my mind. But every project is very special. It's like you are asking mother which baby you
Yeah.
like the most,
Yeah.
and it's very difficult because every project had its own journey.
Hmm.
And from the sustainability perspective, there are several projects where we got gold certification,
Hmm.
we got platinum certification, we got Griha rating. And all of them, for me, they were different genre project. Like one is a guest house, one is a girls hostel, one is a commercial complex, and another is a hospital.
Yeah.
So every journey was special.
Hmm.
Every building sustainability process was different, and selecting material for those project was a different journey. So I think whatever sustainability work I could do, uh, that was amazing. I mean, I started my journey in year 2006, 2008 for the
Yeah.
sustainability, and then that time the sustainability or ratings were very new. But
Yeah.
till today, the journey goes on, and there are few more interesting projects which are coming up, uh, which are expected to be Green Home Platinum
Hmm.
pre-certified. Uh, so it's a Godrej and Boys Vistas which is coming up
Yeah.
now. The
Yeah.
construction has started, and it is a pre-certified platinum rating. So the excitement continues, and looking forward for net zero project in
Correct.
future, uh, which is going to be very challenging. But let's see that
But
opportunity.
you are really one, you know, uh, you're one of the flag bearers of, this green architecture, sustainability, along with high rise. I think you're the flag bearer when it comes to at least, working in Mumbai for so long. So I think we really appreciate this. I'm being a very young architect right now. I really look forward to your, inputs. Uh, Again, ma'am, what are these certificates? You just mentioned about platinum, Griha. So there are many others, जैसे LEED है, IGBC है. So can you like brief us about these certification bodies?
Yeah, right. So when the Green Building Council came to India, it was USGBC who came to India,
Hmm.
and slowly USGBC is still active.
Yeah.
Uh, USGBC is lead, which
Hmm.
is BD plus C. So these exams are given, or the lead facilitation is available in US,
Hmm.
and you can give these exams over here.
Hmm.
Second, which is doing really very well, is India Green Building Council.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole council has taken a wonderful leap, and several certification processes are available. And I think every architect should appear for at least IGBC AP exam and become accredited professionals. Then there is a well certification by IWBI. So when we talk about the wellness coefficient in the
Yeah.
commercial spaces,
Hmm.
this is one of the wonderful rating system where you understand the workplaces very well.
Hmm.
Then there is a Griha rating, which is a government. Then there is SOCM, which is another rating. So then there is for the carbon, people are doing a lot more rating system, which is from the CII Hyderabad. So there are several such certifications
Hmm.
which are available, and several institutes which are there who is working closely on the green building
Hmm.
aspect of it, and it's very exciting. So everyone should take these exams,
You've,
and
I think, taken all of them. I mean,
Yeah,
you
because
have
as I
taken, just
said
you
that,
mentioned, I
yeah,
mean, you've taken
it's
all
it's
of
very
them.
exciting to do
Yeah,
that, and after passing the exam, I still have that excitement of
correct.
school times and college times that Pappu pass ho gaya types.
I mean, you saying it in that term, it sounds very pappu pass ho gaya. I mean, you're
Yeah,
like,
it happens, and I really enjoy because after certain years, nobody takes your exam. Of course, your
correct.
clients are there to pose the challenges, but still, failing and passing the exam will be much higher
Yeah.
of like still you get dreams that
For
okay.
for you, I think, like in our slang, I think for you it's I think it's just a cheap thrill. Like, I just want to like pass in an exam and have that excitement of just me passing in a certification exam. It's funny how this works. So, ma'am, how is it to be a woman in architecture? I mean, people keep saying about, how, women have taken across these projects, women have taken across these positions, but you are at such a level at as of now. How was the journey? Was it difficult? And what are your views about women in architecture?
Uh, I really see a great future for women in any industry.
Correct.
Uh, it's a poise, it's the upbringing, uh, it's the confidence and hard work. I think all these things are very much there in any and every woman. When I started my journey, uh, though in my college I had an equal proportion of uh, boys and girls,
Correct.
but actually when I started working professionally, at that time it was more like less of a women in construction industry, in architectural practice. There were a lot more in interiors, but less in the architectural industry.
Mm.
Uh, so whenever I used to go for any meeting or any site visit, I used to be surrounded by men.
Mm.
Uh, but it's very important that how you poise yourself
Mm.
and how you develop your knowledge. Once you develop your knowledge, it's not a gender specific. So when it comes to a technical knowledge, typically you will always see that if it's some electrical work,
Mm.
you will always call a man that please do this. Or when it comes to some kind of plumbing work, or when it comes to a technique, uh, it is always seen that the women will take a back seat.
Correct.
But it's very important in the architectural field that you have to understand the technology. And once you start
Mm.
understanding the technology, I think it's not a gender. You just try to say that this is not my job,
Mm.
and that's not the
That's
way
not
you
it.
should look at it.
Yeah.
Even if it comes to the regulation or the legal language, it's not something that you should shy away. So,
Mm.
you shying away as any gender from certain things, you will go, I mean, you will take yourself away from a knowledge. So, I
Mm.
really feel that uh, once you think about it or once you have control over all that,
Mm.
I think it's not something which is a men or women.
Mm.
And again, I would say I'm blessed that I was surrounded by wonderful professional colleagues
Mm.
who always gave me that kind of opportunity.
Mm.
And uh, I think once there's a will, there is a way.
Correct.
You need a good willpower, whoever, whatever gender you are.
Mm. Mm.
Once you have that willpower, and when once you have that interest and passion, I think no field can stop you.
Mm.
And at the same time, balance is there for everyone, every gender.
Mm.
How do you balance your life? And it's not in comparison with someone else that this person is balancing in this way.
Mm.
Again, it's your own formula,
Mm.
it's your own portion, and how life surrounding it to you, how you have taken your responsibilities. If you
Mm.
look at those responsibility as purely your growth, I think that's what it is. And second thing is satisfaction, getting
Mm.
satisfied with what you're doing.
Mm.
That is another thing which I always practice. So that's what gave me a good support, and I had that kind of supporting family
Mm.
uh, who always gave me that kind of encouragement. That is
Correct.
another level.
Mm.
Uh, but you have to, uh, understand your own formula,
Hmm.
not to compare your growth with anyone.
Correct.
And that's what I've been doing till today.
Hmm.
I never felt that I can be compared, because you have your own life path and your own life journey.
Hmm.
And once you understand that what is your journey, what is your life path, what you want to be, you will find the ways
Hmm.
to go in that
Like, be it a
direction.
man, be it a woman, if you have the will, you are going to find the way.
Correct.
So there's no what people have, that have you overcome, women, being a woman in the industry is so difficult.
No,
But yeah, exactly. Once you found a way, why would it be difficult?
correct.
Yeah.
And see, even if I have certain situations in the life,
Hmm.
it's very important individually to resolve them in certain fashion.
Hmm.
No one's life is straightforward. Everyone has their own journey. That's why I'm saying that life is a journey, and it's not for gender.
Hmm.
I mean, for several years, women had those kind of problems, but right now, today, urban women
Will not
is
have those
will not
problems.
have.
Hmm.
So, me being treated specialized for specific gender is not required.
Hmm.
It's not
Yes.
required. I should be happily saying that yes, I'm an architect. Whether I'm a
Hmm.
woman or I'm a man,
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Correct. Very, very well framed.
Yeah,
That yeah, I'm an architect. Doesn't matter whether I'm a woman or a man. As far
correct.
as my knowledge and my intellect is with me, and
Correct.
I have my own way of finding
And
my
the kind
path.
of job which you have taken,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
understand what is your job.
Correct.
Then you should be able to deliver.
Hmm.
So that's how I look at it.
Hmm.
But of course, I'm very happy that I'm a woman. So
Yeah. Yeah. Ma'am, any advice that you would like to give the younger generation? Now new interns are coming up. Even you also must be having. Any advice that you'd like to give them in terms of, say, if they want to work under your firm? So, any advice that you'd like to give them? So, before you come, you maybe do this and come, or before you come, maybe work on this skill and come, something like that.
uh, younger generation thinks very differently.
Yeah.
And one, rather than advising, I just try to understand them.
Mm,
Frankly, it's
yeah.
it's other way round. I try to understand them because there are certain things the way in which young generation is thinking, and uh, rather than using the word responsible, I would say how we have evolved them.
Mm, mm,
Like we have given them all the luxuries of life,
yeah.
so they have certain lifestyle what they have experienced in their life.
Mm.
So again, their journey was different
Yeah,
from their
your
childhood.
upbringing, your journey
Upbringing,
is
their journey
journey.
is different, and so we have to give them that little bit of a freedom to experiences their own challenges.
Mm,
Once they experience that, then they will have their own path. So
mm,
that's what my advice. I mean, uh, I'm no one to give advice to anyone. As I said, that I would always look at it as individual journey, and uh, in young times, even when I look back, when I was 25 or 23, I always feel that these 10 things I never thought I could do it,
yeah,
or these 20 professions I never thought about I could do that. But today, when I look back, I said I could have done this also. I could have done
yeah,
that also.
yeah.
Though you enjoy what you're doing right now, but you had so much of bandwidth.
Mm,
I mean, today's they many of them come up and tell me that, oh, I thought initially I would like this, but now I feel that I could do that.
but they have that much level of exposure also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that exposure I didn't have. So,
Mm,
but now the time has come that advice is that you explore with your own money.
mm,
You don't be dependent on your parent. So, somewhere, if you want to take a risk, do take the risk,
mm,
but with all abilities and commitment to that.
mm.
So, that's the whole advice, and explore yourself. Take a risk, but you be balanced with the life what your parents give it to you. So, financially, how one can be stable. That's what a little advice I could say, but
Yeah.
otherwise, have your own journey.
But yeah, I mean, younger generation, like you just said, like putting it in very simple words, you want them to be financially independent. just to explore new opportunities and go ahead with their skills. So I
Yeah.
think that's the advice you're trying to give here.
Yeah, I mean, again, the advice is I go to my mom, and
Yeah.
if I say that I have picked up this for this cost, and I said I have picked up something else, so my mom will always tell me that, yeah, you now there is no value for you for money. And I would rather say the same thing to my son also, that see, you bought such an expensive thing, you don't have a value for money. So it's a generation thing
Yeah.
that you will always think that the next generation is
Is no
spending
value
like
for
anything.
money.
That's why I felt that everyone should, young
Yeah.
generations should understand what value they want to bring it to their future, and
Mm.
their means and ways are going to be different than what way I lived my life.
Yeah. Yeah. But like when you lived your life, it was very humble. Like I remember we speaking about it also. Like it was very humble. Like जैसे अभी एक chocolate आता था तो वो share करना पड़ता
Yeah,
था,
exactly.
and used to wait for the next time that sweet came home. So
Absolutely.
this thing I don't think none of the generation, even our generation will not relate to
Correct.
it, but the younger ones will even not more relate to it.
But that's
So
the
I
same thing
think
how I used to
yeah,
share with my brother.
yeah,
I have given the volumes to my son, and that's how his experience is.
different.
So from the different continent, and for me, that small. Still, I remember cutting it and cutting
Yeah,
it in the half with almost like a food scale, how many inches here and there. And see, but it has remained as a very sweet memory in the
correct.
life. And uh, again, I said it keeps you rooted with
Yeah.
such experiences. And today you can go and buy 10 such chocolate bars, but
Mm,
those moments are very special when
special.
you shared and you ate.
Yeah. But when you say you are rooted, I think that even shows in your work. Like you just said, you do these courses, you want to learn from someone else. You're not shying away from learning every day something new, some new challenges. So I think that has resulted in what you are right now, right today, because you are humbly learning, willing to learn. So what is your company's process of hiring? Like some people say they have alignment programs, तो आपकी company में अगर मुझे job चाहिए तो what do I have to do?
Yeah, it's absolutely process oriented.
Yeah.
So, of course, the candidate comes, we go through the CV,
Mm.
and then we call them for the interview. Very young architects, we sometimes give them a little bit of a software test or something like that.
Correct.
But whenever any candidate approaches to me,
Mm.
uh, it happens that you are several years experience, um, and they are almost at your child's age. So
Yeah.
you understand when they talk to you.
Yeah. You understand their psychology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
understand their psychology. Um, some people, they talk openly about what they
Yeah.
think, what they want, and that expressiveness is very important.
Mm.
That says it all, you know. So, and then we have a 6 months probation and things like that. So that gives them that much of bandwidth to
Mm.
gel with the office culture as well as with the whole team, because
Mm.
that is also very important today. It's
Mm.
not necessary that you feel that this candidate can be comfortable
Mm.
and the kind of a work, because in reality the work is pretty challenging when
Yeah.
you're working in the hardcore construction industry, and not everyone will be comfortable in doing that
Mm.
kind of very task
Mm.
oriented fast
Mm.
paced work. And then you always feel that the other side is best. Oh, this office's organization is big. But to build such a big organization, we have all worked together as a team
Yeah.
to uh, get where we are. So it's very important to have that kind of approach.
Mm.
And when they start talking, that's where little bit I could analyze that
Yeah.
yes, that person would be comfortable working with the team, because at the same time it's not now working directly with me, but
Yeah.
it's with the other younger architects, and they should blend with each other.
Mm.
And that patch is very important because they are under tremendous stress of delivering something, and
Mm.
these young ones, they come,
Mm.
and that blend till they all come together in synergy. So whether they will synergize
Mm.
with the team, that is
Mm.
also another thing which is
Yeah.
very important. And while the working process happens, I have seen several examples that the person came with the X thought, but he liked Y.
Mm.
And then that person has grown as a different person, which has come out as an excellent
Yeah.
team support. And it happens. It happens
Mm.
for everyone, and including me, that what I felt initially was very boring project, but that has taken me to certain different level, a
Mm.
different experience. And you go sometimes with a face value,
Mm.
and not even you go wrong when you
Yeah.
analyze with the face value,
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of it, you going wrong.
Yeah. I mean, if it's predictable, then you know what you're hiring. But yeah, when you go wrong, maybe they
Yeah,
prove
that's
you
why those
wrong.
exams are very important.
Yeah.
You know that you go wrong.
Yeah. So there's a certain alignment process. I think in all offices they do follow
True,
these alignment processes,
true.
and they're important to filter the kind of work that your office is expecting out of the young architects.
See, and we give it a tagline as SSC and beyond, and
Okay.
really we celebrate that beyond, because all of us have that beyond thing in
Mm.
everyone,
Mm.
and peculiarly architects have that much more.
Yeah.
So that's why architects are passionate, creative people, and that's where that emotional coefficient comes
Mm.
into picture. So that is also another level which keeps us what we are.
Yeah.
We are
Correct.
different in
We are
certain way,
different.
and that's how we are happy to celebrate what way we are
Yeah.
different. Uh, so I think that is something which is the excitement which SSA would give it to younger generation or the senior level candidate.
Correct. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming down and being a part of this podcast. We've really enjoyed the podcast, and the positivity that you spread is amazing. Like I can actually, you really have an aura around you,
Oh my
which
God, thank you.
I swear I do, and I felt it today, and I'm really glad that we could do this. So thank you.
And thank you, Devanshi. I really enjoyed this conversation,
Yeah,
and we went with the flow, and it's amazing.
yeah.
So all the best to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.